Coach Bonsall, head indoor track and field coach here at UNK. Thanks for meeting with us, Coach.
Absolutely.
Give us a preview of your team, athletes coming back, and what we can expect in 2014-15.
Yeah, as we look ahead at our team, we felt really good about our recruiting class this year. I think we took a good attempt at filling in some different gaps that we had in different event areas. If you look at the women's team, I think one of the areas of strength could be our women's throws. I don't know that there's one superstar in that group that stands out, but I think there's some gals in that group that can definitely help. The women's distance area could be good, but I think we're going to be improved in the jumps and the sprints as well. Just in those areas, I think we're just getting more mature. It's going to be a little bit more of a junior, possibly even senior dominated area. So we're looking forward to that. On the men's side, I think the jumps will definitely or potentially be an area of strength for us. That's just we're fairly senior dominated there, but it is kind of interesting. Some of the areas where we feel like we're strong are also areas where the conference is strong. We feel pretty good about our men's vaulters, but that's a great event at our conference meet. We feel good about our men's multi-eventers, but again, that's a great event at our conference meet. So I think some of our areas of strength will be butting heads with some of the other teams in the conference. So it'll just be interesting to see where we can fit in, where we can find some places to score a point or two that maybe we didn't expect ahead of time.
Great. Talk about the tough teams you'll be facing from the league this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the premier team within our conference is the women from Lincoln University. And not that there aren't other teams in the conference that are good, but they're absolutely outstanding, and they do great at the conference meet level. Coaching staff does a good job, talented group of athletes on the women's side, but there's other programs that are good. Obviously, Central Missouri's got a great history. Pitt State doing well, Missouri Southern doing well, and then you just have I look at like Southwest Baptist distance runners. That's tended to be a good group. Missouri Southern in the distance events. I mean, some of the teams have great overall teams. Other ones are good in areas, but that's one of the things we've really noticed in our time in this conference is just the depth of the conference and how every team is solid at least in an area or two. On the men's side, Pitt State won the conference indoor meet, won the conference outdoor meet. They're starting to become that team that we really have to work at to beat. But we know Missouri Southern's good. We know Central Missouri's good. Lincoln University with their sprinters. You can just go on and on. I remember last year when we scored the conference outdoor meet, heading into it, I think it was on the men's side, that if you just scored the conference performance list, didn't try to guess where people were going to be entering their athletes, just scored 1 through 8 off the conference performance list in all events, that there wasn't a men's team under 50 points, which just that just blows my mind. That's just indicative of the fact that every team, every program in the conference is making a really good effort at having a good team and making a good showing well for themselves at the conference meet and then obviously at the national meet.
Good. How do you plan on replacing a great group of seniors from last year?
Yeah, the seniors we lost last year were primarily in the throws and in the mid-distance and distance events. Losing Michael Falcon and Jackie Zimke in particular in the throws, but also Andrea Howe, who was a national qualifier as a junior in the discus. That's going to be hard. That you don't. If you look at each one of those athletes, as you look at the ones we had in the distance events that we graduated, people like Al Sanabria and Paul Pape and even Joe Coyle, people who maybe weren't All-Americans and national qualifiers but were still scorers at the conference meet. It just took time for each one of them to become good. They weren't All-Americans as freshmen. They weren't national qualifiers right away necessarily, but they're people who developed over time. And you just always hope that you're continuing to do that, that's a process that's never ending, that there's people that were juniors last year who are going to come in their senior year and qualify for nationals for the first time, or that freshman or sophomore who makes a big jump. You see that, we had that last year with one of our multi-eventers, Kaylin Farr. Would have never guessed that guy would be qualifying for a national meet, much less getting 9th at the national meet like he did in the indoor HEP. You would have guessed that based off where he was as a freshman, but he just got a little bit better at each of his events in the HEP, and he got there. And so it's just that process, and we just got done with general conditioning. We're moving into a little bit more specific event sort of things here in the next week or two, and it'll just be interesting to see who the people are who've just developed physically and gotten better.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for meeting with us, Coach. Good luck on your season.
Okay, thank you.